Ian Flynn made the cores you used to power up in Sonic Heroes canon? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Everything has to be canon to some level. They used Chaos Drives for something in the old Archie comics too, I believe. Chaos Drives being the things that the robots drop in Sonic Adventure 2. Alright, so we're heading into the Yiga clan hideout. So, Onyx, I hope you got your simpin' pants on. You gotta get ready. Alright, so I'm actually below expected level, so... Oh yeah, no, Zelda's not the weakest. We've got lots of level 24s though. But yeah, I'm gonna try out a new character, but have Link as my safety net, I guess. Yeah, Flynn's good at contextualizing stuff. Yeah, like I think he would do a really good job writing an actual game. Like the fact that he could, because he tried to get a job writing Sonic Colors, and if he had written Sonic Colors, then that would have meant that he would have written Sonic Generations, and that could have pumped up that script a lot, and it needed it. There's like 20 minutes of cutscenes in that game, but there might as well be 3 seconds.
Empowered with this immense trove of knowledge, Hura began running calculations to locate monster camps and the Yiga clan hideout.
Oh, so those towers are surveillance towers, and they were able to identify terrorists. Nice.
Urbosa and divine beast Va Naboris were sent on a mission to root out the king's enemies.
Ooh, nice. Are we finally getting playable Va Naboris?
Well, it's time. You and I must now ride into battle without the luxury of training. Then again, experience is the best teacher.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Ian Flynn is writing for Rivals of Aether now. That can be interesting. Like the story that there is in Rivals of Aether, I always felt was a massive waste of the potential they had, because it was just kind of bland and there was not much, like they didn't do much with any of it, because it was way more focused on being just an arcade style story mode. So it was weird because you basically just fight some irrelevant fight and then you would just get more of the story. There was no real connection. Though to be fair, oh man, it's funny you say that blue lipstick is good on a character, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Actually, is like it's like you have to be real bold to pull that off. All right, so this might be the best of all of the characters. Look at that. Oh, but she has to charge up. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, okay, no. I thought she had like a timing specific parry, but no. It's just the same as the Varuta. But this is still fun. Also, it has a bit more of a clear-cut ebb and flow to it, because it's kind of tricky, I find. I've done all the replay missions with the Divine Beasts now, and it's kind of hard to decide when to block and when to attack, because generally you have to just decide to stop attacking, because you can only do one or the other, and it feels awkward when you have infinite stuff. But having this limited gauge, actually, I think is good for the flow of this kind of mission. It is hard to hit stuff that's near you, though. That's neat. So, when they said defeat the Yiga clan / destroy their hideout, I didn't actually expect to do a Divine Beast mission. I was expecting, like, not just summoning a giant thunderstorm to destroy them. It's kind of nuts how powerful the Divine Beasts are, and yet how bad they are at having any lasting impact on anything. Because, like, they can do this. That hideout should not be exactly where it is in Breath of the Wild 100 years later. This might be your game of the year and you're not even playing it? I don't know. There's been a lot of good stuff, especially at the end of the year. It's hard to say, honestly. Like, Melody and Memory is the best rhythm game I've ever played. So, there's that. And it has square emoji. It's bugging me that that gauge doesn't fill up fully. There's surely some trick, but what is the trick? Like, am I supposed to max act something? Is that what they want out of me? You're living vicariously through me? That is the point of streams. Basically, look at that frame rate. I got some real rough frame rates when I was playing off stream. There, it gets bad. Yeah, I think that, yeah, there was the stuff with Yiga disguising themselves as Hylian soldiers and switching over all at once, but yeah, man, this game gets into single digits sometimes. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy to actually provide some vicarious entertainment. I think it's nice to get people to experience, especially Nintendo games that are never, ever, ever going to go down in price in any meaningful way unless they become like a Nintendo Select. So it's a good way to get the experience. Oops, wrong button. Oh well. Overkill is okay sometimes. You can have it as a treat. Oh man, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out this year. Oh, this has been a long year. I don't like that. Oh. This is giving me the exact same feeling of finding out that something is old, except it's not even old. It's not even a year old. Oh man, that's... bad knowledge. Yeah, I just got sucker punched too. So I'm glad there's at least punching going around in the chat. I don't know when it feels like. I'm not sure if it feels like it was 2 years ago or what. Like, it was announced a long time ago, I guess. 5 years ago. Yeah, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind was this year, too. Like, we've moved pretty far past the Yozora stuff.
The Varna Boris mission cleared a path directly to the Yiga clan hideout. Looking to exploit this advantage, the champions moved in to strike.
Oh yeah, now that I've replayed stuff, actually. Something worth noting that's pretty nice quality of life thing. When you replay a mission, you can choose to just do the on foot or just do the Divine Beast part. I'm glad they thought of that. Alright, let's see how this works. I feel like it's been, yeah, wide moves. So it said great fairies, plural. Oh yeah, there we go, we switched. Someone tapped to summon a different great fairy. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, and then, so the trigger move is to switch by the look of it. I'm not sure what this part does, but I can find out, I guess. Ooh, wait, what's this? Why is there a shield now? This is a weird character. This is a very weird character. Also interesting that they did basically make a unique boss fight where each of these individual characters just uses their move. Because like these are all team up moves that are happening, but the boss fights for just a single fairy, obviously. I gotta say, I can't imagine myself fighting like this much though, it's way too big. This makes it hard to keep track of the actual enemies. Oh, interesting, you can cancel right out of a move to switch. Wait, what does a wall jump even mean in this case? You just rise. You just go up. You just set the vertical speed to up.
Such a pity.
Is there a Cucks update this month? Honestly, I can't see there being another story update. It's been very, very slow and sparse. So I feel like it's going to be a while before we get anything new. If anything, it's going to be like, here's a new thing, you can blow some money on accessories that give you +6 strength. Ooh. Here's a banner where you can spend $500 for a chance to get a Kingdom Hearts 2 Antiform Sora. Alright, I am really not feeling this. I wonder. I really, even though I've had to redo the Yiga Fortress a lot because they don't checkpoint that stupid mission, I don't remember if this is accurate to the actual Yiga Fortress. Because I'm curious if they just repurposed the actual Yiga Fortress into a Musou arena, or if this is just a new area using Musou-like, using the assets to recreate a Musou arena. Man, okay, yeah, now it's even messing with my ability to like try and time stuff. It's just, yeah, it's too big, the Great Fairies. Yeah, it's really messing with the camera. This is not ideal. wonder how much less damage I would take if I didn't keep going for perfect dodges. Yep. Whenever I stand suspiciously still. Man, it's even pushed me out of the way when it has a weak spot. Like, this is... I don't like this. It's a bad party member, even. Great. Thank you. I guess it's neat that there's traps, but man, did I pick the wrong stage to try out this character. Yeah, the fairies don't seem good. They probably have a gimmick that makes them worthwhile, but this stage is way too tightly packed for a character that big. If you're on a big open field, it'd probably be fine. Alright. That's 2. I feel like there must be a lot of stuff like in this stage particularly, just floating around. Probably a lot of Korok seeds and stuff. Because so far you haven't had to go to many of the areas. It's a very like weird, mixed up map. I don't have anything to really say about this either. It's kind of bad and kind of bland. But let's just clear out some Giga. It's time for a genocide or two. Actually, in this case it would qualify as excising a religious group, wouldn't it be? So I'm not sure what that qualifies as. Alright, now just tell me what to do next. There's a lot of dialogue I can't read because there's no... Gotta focus on the actual game, but also there's no voice acting. 'Cause reasons, I guess. I saw that the Mario 3D All-Stars collection is $10 whole off right now. And actually, this game's on sale too, and unlike that game, I recommend this. I think this is a good game. It's pretty neat. Had a lot of fun so far, and I have to 100% it. I have to. Yeah, the Yiga are definitely a cult because they're worshipping Calamity Ganon, and they're an offshoot of the what are they? The Sheikah. I can't believe I forgot that. I could have called them the Impa. Oh, hey! I'm a lot better at noticing these now because I went and collected a whole bunch. Oh yeah, and actually, the game doesn't track Korok seeds at first, but there's a mission you can do, and then the Korok seeds you've collected will show up on your mission menu. So it is weird how they're so fixated on making every single feature you can unlock into like a mission on the map that you have to actually get first. It's not always for the best, I think. Because I went and collected a bunch of Korok seeds, just assuming there's no way to track them. And it was just kind of a pain, but then no, there's actually a thing. But you need Korok seeds to actually do that mission too, so like you have to do some. I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, the Impa tribe, you know, from Zelda. It's weird, the boss fights are obviously supposed to be like the big tough challenge, but these smaller bosses with no real moveset I sometimes find harder to deal with because they just do one attack. That's like a one short little swing, and then that's it. And so like that's your one chance to do a perfect dodge on them, and if you don't, then that's that. Whereas usually there's like 3 or so moves that they do, and like it's a lot flashier too, I find, with a boss character. That must be unique because obviously you don't have a huge wind-up when you're actually controlling a character. You're not a boss fight. Playing at a boss fight actually feels really bad. So it's like how in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate you can play as the Master Hand for one mission, but it does not play like the Master Hand boss fight. You can just slap things around.
It will be done.
I guess this is the designated Trixie level. Lots of like ambushes and stuff. And then gate closes. And boring. I would definitely say I prefer Age of Calamity over Hyrule Warriors. I generally just like games with more structure to them. So the fact that there's like a big world map and more of a meaningful story and that kind of thing adds a lot to me. But I also think it just plays really good. Like, if there is a Switch Pro sometime soon that lets you play this more stably, that'll be really nice, because that is like the one big blemish, is that it can get into single-digit frame rates when it feels like it. Like, I didn't sink a ton of time into the post-game of Hyrule Warriors, but I like all these movesets a lot on average. Like, the Great Fairy is the first one I felt like, even if I understand it, I'm not going to really enjoy it. Everyone else has something neat. Like, I figured out, I've been struggling before in previous streams with Zelda's moveset, and what I found out is that her deal is that she has a lot of heavy attacks. It's not just attack once, do a heavy attack, that's it. She has multiple follow-ups to her heavy attacks. So she has very few regular moves, but you tap it like 2 or 3 times to do different stuff. And then also, like, you got these. There's just tons of variety for you. I wish the rods actually worked different too, but I guess that'd be a lot of work. But having all these different versions of the runes for different characters is pretty cool. It adds a little bit of... Even though that Simon says boss fights, like I've said before, it's still neat that it actually has that level to it of these different, like, very unique functionalities, like freezing enemies and stuff, throwing bombs, that kind of thing. Mind me, just a little bit used to the right trigger being a run button in a lot of games. I was playing the Dragon Quest XI demo not long ago, and you just hold down R2 to... No, it's not R2, it's like ZR or something like that on Switch. But you hold that down to automatically run forward. And that's what I'm thinking of now. Man, I can't see anything. I gotta say, like, this is just coming from someone who isn't very heavily impacted by low frame rates. Like, it doesn't actually... Like, some people get headaches and stuff from it, but I definitely haven't had any point where the frame rates negatively impacted the gameplay because it's a very specific kind of structure to the gameplay. It's not a big deal to like not be able to interact with the game sometimes. Oh yeah, I assume the Mighty Bananas are gonna let you upgrade the Yiga character when you, well, both the Yiga characters. I'm sure that Koga and Suga are gonna be unlockables.
Hang on.
So for a secret door, as soon as I got my hands on the key to it, they ambushed me. Okay. It's less of a surprise when these Yiga Blight Masters pop up, because it's happened so many times already. Like it's a Musou game. I know the enemies are gonna pop up, and I'm gonna use their weak points on them and then do this. If only we had a Switch Pro. I would. The thing is, yeah, reasonably a Switch Pro should be dirt cheap because it's a Switch that's stronger, but there's no screen. Don't have to have a tiny battery, that kind of thing, like a physically tiny battery. I mean, but I could see it being expensive anyways because Nintendo is insane. Not bad for a Vo. Man. Verbosa out there with the... whatever the word is. Reverse racism, let's go with that. Oh, Suga! Paging Onyx. I'm going to kick Suga's ass. With bombs. If they made a new stand for the Switch, it couldn't do anything because the Switch isn't set to interface with the stand in any capacity. It's just a dock for it to HDMI out. Like, honestly, I'm surprised. It just, like, there must be some problem with it in terms of hardware, which is far from something I'm familiar with. But, like, I think Sega had a really good idea with having consoles where you just attach a new piece to it and it gets stronger. I feel like that could, like, imagine if you just got an extra chunk to add to your Xbox One to turn it into an Xbox One X or something like that. So just, and that was all you need to make it into the stronger thing. Like, obviously there are problems with that, with this level of technology in terms of heating and all that kind of stuff too. Like, it's complicated, but for smaller scale upgrades, I think it could be really good. Yeah, no, exactly, like a Megazord. Or like Voltron, or any other kind of thing, whatever. I love the idea with Suga where he has moves that freeze you, but you can counter them by using your cryonics. Alright, we're gonna fight Suga and Koga. One way to find out. Yo! I did look up, and there are nowhere near as many Korok seeds in this game as there are in Breath of the Wild. And there could have been. This is a Musou game. But there are not. We're safe. And I am very thankful to Koei Tecmo. Oh yeah, this is Discount Gilgamesh.
Well,
Right, is he discount Deadpool? He's just the goofy character, honestly. The fourth wall-ish kind of character.
Because your thread's about to get cut. And I'm the shears. Snip, snip!
I will say, I do like this more than Girahim, though. I think Girahim is kind of... not so much anymore, but people used to really, like, play up how good they are. But I think this is the same idea, but a bit more fun to watch. Also, actually, kind of Zant. Very similar to Zant, now that I think about it.
Majesty for the Yiga Clan Master Koga is gonna kill you all to death.
You ready?
He teleports like Deadpool. The thing that got me thinking, though, is that Gilgamesh and Deadpool fill the exact same role, and obviously Koga's going to have some Kabuki influences here, so he is very Gilgamesh in that way. Oh, okay. Oh, he's back. Hello, Suga. It's kind of like a cliche you see a lot where they have the underling who's way cooler and more reasonable than the leader guy, and they just kind of inexplicably follow them, but man, Suga's so much cooler than Koga, even though he jobs all the time. Yeah, speaking of jobbing, you don't even have to beat Suga in order to get to Koga. Oh, he has the ancient Joestar technique. Ah, man. Gotta get rid of some weapons. Down at full hearts. That's actually really bad for how I play. Oh, I should use these too. It's actually really expensive to auto-polish weapon though, and I don't use spear types. Oh, look at them. A couple.
Hey, prophecy man. You missed the part.
Alright, I want to find out what this guy's deal is actually. Look at it. He looks kind of like an evil version of Impa from Skyward Sword. With that braid?
Fate decides all. Even this defeat.
Huh?
As you well know, if you decided to turn against me, you would make an enemy of Calamity Ganon.
You would make an enemy of a natural disaster. If you punch me in the face, you will make an enemy of this earthquake.
Good. We will need each other's help if we are to achieve our plan. In the name of Calamity Calamity Ganon, you and I are bound. Let us turn our eyes to the task before us. Yes.
I think Breath of the Wild could have used a character like this, actually. Like, even if his entire deal was just to job to Calamity Ganon, having someone who can talk as an antagonist would have been nice. Kind of make them like the, what's her name? Queen Zeal from Chrono Trigger. Make her the Queen Zeal to Lavos. And y'all are just thirsting over the fact that Suga is tall.
Pura, a little warning would have been nice.
Sorry. But look, is this technology amazing or what? Right now we can't teleport many people at once. And anywho, there aren't many places we can travel. But with further study, I think these towers will be invaluable. Lucky for us, I have lots of new researchers on my team too.
Look at all these Sheikah nerds.
We're not gonna let that stop us, eh?
I know that you won't. I wish I could join you, but now... Anyway, I'm glad for your help, Pura.
Alright, so where is this going? Like, I think that must have been the end of the chapter. So now... Yeah, like, I wonder how close we are. Actually, it would have been neat is an actual, like, countdown to show how close you are to the ending, well, the beginning of Breath of the Wild. Well, specifically, like, what leads into the Breath of the Wild, like the big disaster. Actually, yeah, no, just something that just lists, like, how close you are to Calamity Ganon, how close it is to being released. It would have been nice. That lady lost 90% of her bones? What lady? Wait, what am I missing? Oh, I thought that said Damsel Forest. It's like, that's a bit on the nose. Yay, hearts for Link. That's the most important one. Ooh. Ooh, this is interesting. Trials. Qualify for the trial of Monk Maz Koshia. I'm pretty sure that's the boss fight in the DLC of Breath of the Wild. That's interesting. Wonder what that... Ooh, are they a DLC? Or DLC? Are they a secret character? It does follow the exact same structure as the Great Fairies. That'd be neat. That's definitely a fun character to have as a secret character. Oh yeah, no, the scientists do just become basically just their head by the end. That's true. Alright, what else we got up here? Great Fairy upgrade stuff. One of Maz Koshia's things. I guess I should wait until I can just do all those maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, and hey, that's what those crystal things are for. The things that look like a less perfect version of the Din's Fire, Neru's Love kind of things from Ocarina of Time. So that's what they're for, I guess. Cooking slot, woo! 2 recipes.
Beautiful work.
Wait, does it go all the way across the screen? Do I still have to unlock like 8 more slots for cooking? Man! Alright, what else we got? Hestu, I forgot about Hestu.
Wait until you see my newest moves.
Yeah, countdown like Majora's Mask, but it just progresses when you actually make story progress. Like, it'd just be a superficial thing, but I just think it'd add to letting you know how close you are to the part that everyone wants to see, obviously. Goron-style massage. That appeals to certain people.
Good stuff.
cooking. What do we got? What do we got? Carrot stew. Eh.
You did well.
Charge special per enemy KO. Okay, that's really good. Ooh, and I got that too. Nice. Spear combo. All right. I mean, none of Link's combos are bad. And obviously they really want you to use the sword one. I think the sword one is actually like the most bland though. Like it's got the charging mechanic, but besides that, it's just so straightforward. But not Unga Bunga Smash straightforward. Alright, well. What's going on here? First of all, getting rid of you. Bye. Who needs it most right now? Let's go with Daruk.
Leave it to me.
So, even though I have more slots for cooking, it's still like, I feel like I'm wasting resources now that you have to have all these different resources to get the missions done, and these just give you a temporary bonus, and brain spiders are the worst. When courage fails, ooh. Huh. That's interesting. I gotta know what this is about.
Are you certain of this?
Yes.
Zelda's next birthday will
No,
mark the
speaking of, huh?
Calamity Ganon's
Zelda's birthday. That's
Yes.
goofy.
That is what the images we recovered indicate, at least.
I don't want to use the trade-in because I'm paranoid about using up money.
has run out.
Because, like, you use tons of money to upgrade weapons.
Zelda,
Well, a canon birthday. I assume every Zelda has a different birthday. And also,
the spring,
I don't think we've ever seen any actual
no matter what it takes,
Hylian calendars.
you must awaken your power before the Calamity returns.
Understood.
Man, so
Derived
Zelda had a bad birthday.
indicated that Calamity
Shouldn't, what a, like, think about the stress. She had to unlock her powers, Ganon comes back.
This grim future, King Rome ordered his daughter to train at the Spring of Courage.
Her 17th, so Zelda's 16 at this point.
The king
And then she's
Princess
still
Zelda,
17 by
and
the end of Breath of the Wild, 100 years later.
could sense the thunderous footsteps of a looming scourge.
Yeah, everyone dies on her birthday. It's rough. That'd be like the second worst birthday I know about. At least top 3.
I will do whatever I can, as I am right now. Even if all I have to give is my faith that things will work out.
And then nothing worked out. The end.
That I've been following all this time. Even so, all of the research in
Zelda could make a card run over Ganon? That's true. She's not using her head here.
will have been in vain. Everyone else is carrying out their duties with such grace.
Yeah, the third birthday is probably the worst
I'm
one.
the only one who cannot live up to her own potential.
Princess Zelda.
Why not? Let's go take a break somewhere. I've gotten really. Suddenly I'm really hungry.
Oh, this is nice. What a good Impa.
Impa. There's just no more time.
That's not canon. I wasn't using the Master Sword when this happened. Yeah, the third birthday is the third entry in the Parasite Eve franchise. noticing that the freeze status effect is lasting longer than it used to. It still doesn't last very long. It lasts like half a second, but it's lasting longer. No, which one do I use? They didn't train me for using 2 different things at once. Oh yeah, so this must be one of the places that references Skyward Sword. Because there are a bunch of shrines you can find in Breath of the Wild. And they're specifically explicit references to shrines that are in Skyward Sword, but they're all mossy and run down. So this would have been Pharaon's shrine, because you can tell by all the grass. Zelda watching Link stuff his face full of food and then destroy hundreds of enemies. Such grace. Yeah, that's true. Link is such a graceful fighter. Yeah, no, think about that now. Like, just the idea of Zelda looking at these Musou battles happening, like, oh, it's so graceful. It's like really funny to me. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Really though, the whole like eat food to then do really strong attack is just the final evolution of a shonen character's fighting style. This is clearly the most shonen Link has ever been. Oh no, Zelda's getting smacked up. Watch this, Zelda. Daruk is also very graceful. Such style, such grace, Link can't stop stuffing his face. That's a good poem. Thank you for the graceful poem, Onyx. There we go. I did orders for once. Look at me go. Learning how to play a Musou game. Oh yeah, so I can't remember if I've ever mentioned, but you actually totally get super armor and like, I'm not sure if it's actually invincibility because it's hard to say, but you can tank hits when you use a heavy attack with a heavy sword. I know because I've been hit and not lost all my white hearts. So you got like a nice little buffer at least before getting hit makes you lose all your white damage. There's too many effects on screen. This is too much. Can't handle this. Oh yeah, couldn't show it off there, but Daruk can make a ramp, like that lava magma ramp type thing, and if you just roll up it, he'll do a little like slow motion jump off it, and there's a different special move you can use. It's pretty neat. Oh jeez. Well, never mind. I thought that Link had cleared out the place already, but he's not even there yet. I could probably use these a bit more liberally. I just always want to have them on hand in case I run into an elemental enemy. Man, they're gonna have to come up with one hell of a final battle to justify Link losing. Like, there better be at least 1,000 Guardians. And even then, I went back and redid the mission where you fight a Guardian, and even then, it wasn't actually that hard to beat it. And if you do, it just cuts to the cutscene of the Guardian getting mysteriously blown up. And in theory, if I was good at video games, I could simply parry the Guardian lasers and just win. And even the tooltips say to use the weaknesses when there's elemental enemies, but as far as I know, there's no weakness for electricity, but maybe I'm just missing something really obvious like I have been every other time I didn't understand a mechanic in this game. Yeah, no, it's 100% what if I need this potion later. Well, like an elixir is a better example because everyone uses potions because they're worthless. But yeah, no, it's 100% that because yeah, almost all the time I could, like you stock up on those pretty easily, but then just the idea of not being able to use it when you uncover an elemental enemy is such a bad feeling that you have to hold on to it. You have to make sure. You can never be too safe. Can you? Can you? And yeah, Zelda's got multiple outfits now too. Like, you know, the other Hyrule Warriors games, a lot of them are alternate colors, but there are a lot of outfits. So the fact that there's nothing for all the other characters so far, it's just all Link stuff, still a huge letdown, but maybe there's like post-game stuff, like maybe there's one alternate outfit for a character or something like that. Or maybe it's just going to be the Zelda stuff, maybe. I don't know. Hard to predict. Yeah, we all got our mind goblins, you're right. The final boss is that the Divine Beasts get taken over and they debuff Link. Link just tanks. Or Guardian Blast to the face, or not Guardian, Divine Beast Blast to the face. It's like, no, that's almost enough to defeat me. I'm slightly weaker now. This Link is actually just, he has so much Chuck Norris meme energy. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's been a while. Chuck Norris is an old dead meme at this point. But like, all those things of it, like, you know, a bazooka hit Link in the face and it got a dent. That kind of stuff. That's the energy this Link has. It's so dumb. This actually feels like like the rain and the lighting on this really makes it feel like it's a climatic, like late end game thing, but it's not. It's just some random monsters attacking. The music's pretty epic too. Like it's very dramatic for a nothing scene. Oh no, unsatisfying sounds. I wouldn't even call that a mind goblin dwindle. Like, if sound design is bad, that lets down the entire game. And that's why Super Smash Bros. 64 is the best version of Smash Bros. Because it has by far the most satisfying and best sound effects. Like, a lot of people don't understand sound design, so they don't think it's important, but it is vital. Like, so I was thinking about this because I was listening to the Castle Super Beast podcast, and they happened to mention that Kingdom Hearts has really good effects. Because they were talking about hit stop in games. Like, this game uses lots of hit stop. Hit stop is a technique in a game where the frames will freeze for a moment to give a weapon impact. It's because the thing is that a weapon, when it hits something, is going to meet resistance, and that's hard to really simulate in a game. So a really cheap way is to just freeze on the frame, so that right when it... Sorry, my throat feels weird. But yeah, so you freeze on the frame, and then it makes the hit feel more impactful, because it simulates resistance. And Kingdom Hearts never does that, but what Kingdom Hearts does have is fantastic hit sounds, and like big particle effects for explosions for when you hit things. And the enemies really get knocked around a lot too, at least in the older games. So yeah, no, sound design is real essential to this kind of stuff, especially in action game, but even, yeah, like you said, menus. If a menu doesn't sound good to use, it's gonna wear on you. That's just important part of the game. Yeah, Castle Super Beast, they did mention Kingdom Hearts briefly, because, like, you know, when Pat has something to say that he knows about, he'll say the correct thing. And so he accurately says that Kingdom Hearts has very satisfying hits. Uh-oh. Well, courage failed. Timeline split. God. The squeaky shoes and Yakuza, Jesus. That I haven't played that much of Zero, but it's a thing in Yakuza Kiwami where you can wear shoes that make a little sound effect, and you get a tiny bit of yen each time, and that's it's a nightmare. I just took them off. It wasn't worth it. Yeah, I mean, Pat talks shit about it, but he does that a lot, and sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes he just wants to make people upset. That's kind of his thing. And if it's the kind of thing that bothers you, then you're not going to enjoy his content, I believe. Yeah, a lot of times, that's all honestly not even a thing exclusive to Pat, the idea of having bad memory of something you played a long time ago, and like, yeah, strangely, thinking that Chain of Memories has RNG is a really common take I've encountered. Like, there was a person I knew in high school who would complain of, my throat. He would complain that Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories has a randomized card element, and like, there is a randomized element in that it's random which cards you get, but there are a lot of people who seem to think that the decks are random, even though there's something you can set yourself. It's strange, but there's lots of stuff like that. And yeah, that's the thing. There's a difference between lying and just being wrong, and yeah, with Pat, I guess, I feel weird talking about my opinions on other people's media while I'm making media myself, but like generally I find his two responses are either if he's wrong he'll say, "Oh, I was wrong, I'm an idiot," or he'll double down or triple down because that's more fun to him. And or he'll say like, I don't care. It's more fun to me to believe this insane, stupid thing. I'm not going to ever engage with this in any meaningful way, so I just want the fun version. Okay, what's going on? What's is Zelda stuck? I didn't get so many hearts compared to everyone else. Okay. Makes sense. Why did it tell me to use remote bombs? There's nothing... Like... I don't think this enemy's even weak to remote bombs. Fine. Oh! You toppled a tree. Neat. What's going on? Why is it doing that? I mean, lying about media may not be fun to you, Onyx, but it's fun to... Lying in general is fun to a lot of people, like, to varying degrees of harmfulness. What is this enemy doing? Because, yeah, some people, like... Because, like, to some extent, a lot of jokes are just lies. It's weird to say it like that, but it is just how it be sometimes. But yeah, like, for some people, the idea of, like, saying something facetious and then, like, just leaning into it constantly and people losing their minds over it is fun. And, like, I've done that. I'll do something where, like, someone will make a dumb assumption about me, and rather than being like, oh no, that's not actually accurate, I'll just be like, yes, actually 4 times what you think. 10 times that. I am even dumber than you thought. Because that's just fun to do sometimes. People's reactions are a big part of why people do things in general. Yeah, no, misinformation does suck. And, like, that's the thing, like, that happened a lot with Final Fantasy 13, specifically Lightning Returned. It's a fantastic game that was devastated by really dumb YouTubers spreading misinformation about it because they didn't like Final Fantasy 13. Like, it's not like it's clear cut all the time, I guess. Like, a lot of times just really bad takes get spread around, regardless even of the intent of the actual creator, because it's very easy to do something without intending it to be a serious take that's going to influence people. But people are also dumb, and if you have a huge audience, then doing that it can be kind of irresponsible at a point. But also, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, I guess. Like, people missing out on a cool game isn't a big deal. It's their loss. Yeah, 13.3 is super good. It's a great, like, open world-ish action game. They repurposed the combat into this really neat solo system where you switch between jobs. And the structure is just super neat. Like, you can go to any of the different regions. There's 4 different levels, basically, and each of them has their own story. You do them in whatever order you want. There's a 13-day time limit, and time progresses in real time. There's side quests. Like, the game is heavily side quest based. It's actually... There's a lot of parallels you can make to Majora's Mask. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same idea of there being a limited time and a huge focus on side quests. Story-wise, it's kind of eh. I think that 13.2 actually has a much better story because I think Caius is a super compelling villain and probably the best villain they've made in the modern era of Final Fantasy. But in terms of gameplay, it's one of the best. Like, it's very similar to Final Fantasy VII Remake, actually. Except I think that it actually beats Remake in some ways. Like, I think Lightning Returns has much better side quests than 7 Remake. Oh, man, I keep thinking, like, I gotta pay more attention to these missions where I'm supposed to just do this. Man, they don't care about clipping at all. This goes right into the ground. Yeah, I mean, there is also just that bad element of, like, people whose entire identity is just to go around saying that something is bad because they refuse to engage with it and they don't actually really like it, but their part of their business model is just to complain about a certain game or something. Like, yeah, certain Let's Play channels who have a big thing about saying bad things about Sonic games to the point where their fan base gets mad at them if they're too positive about it, because you're supposed to just dislike everything about a Sonic game. Why would you enjoy a franchise? Why would you engage with a franchise for like 20 games if you enjoy it? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, the moral of the story is everyone should play Lightning Returns. It's really good, and it got done really dirty by the fan base. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but I just got kicked by that moblin, and despite that, I didn't take damage because I was in the middle of a heavy attack and my white hearts didn't go away. You're looking forward to what Clement says about 13.3? That's, yeah. He's pretty fair and reasonable, I find. Like, he's a very down-to-earth guy. I don't think he's super into the kind of stuff that the 13 games do, from what I know, but I don't think it'll be unfair. And I do enjoy his videos on like that. I haven't actually watched The Great Clement in a long time, but that the kind of stuff I always did appreciate from him. And just how, not to just repeat myself, but he's very down to earth, and it's nice to have a YouTube channel that's like that every now and then, because it's not common. Usually it's very, very much larger than life. He likes 13.2? Well, then that means he's smart. Like, 13.2 is another franchise that really didn't get a fair shake. Well, franchise, sorry. Man, my talking abilities are falling right off the roof. What's the deal here? Why is it just spinning around? Why am I not getting a Korok seed? Yeah, no, like 13.2 has, like, Sarah is great, Noel is great, Caius is great, and that's like the entire cast. I do like all of 13, but 13.1 I think is the weakest overall. I think it has a lot of failures in terms of gameplay structure and storyline. And apparently a lot of that is just because it's very, very badly translated. Like, there's a lot of stuff they just did to westernize it, so there's lots of like themes and motives that are lost. Like, there's a really big thing they do is that they refuse to say heart, so lots of stuff gets localized to mind. So you'll have Lightning say like, I felt it in my mind, instead of saying I felt it in my heart, because you can't talk about hearts to Western gamers. That's what happens with Kingdom Hearts. And that didn't work out very well. Ugh. Man, people cannot engage with metaphysical concepts, even very basic ones that are actually really common in our society. Like, the concept of a heart not being a physical heart is not a Eastern philosophy. We have lots of words we say about feeling it in your heart, but apparently it just doesn't click with people. The order is 3, 2, 1. I flip flop. I think I like Lightning Returns to play more than 2, but I think 2 is the overall best package in the franchise. I am wandering a lot. I need to focus. Like, poor Zelda is just sitting there wondering what happened to Link, but he's probably just off eating rocks or something. Emotions are cringe, I agree. We should definitely localize emotions out of our games. Like, I saw on Twitter some screenshots of different Square Enix games that were localized, and the English version of the characters are just frowning instead of smiling. It's like, great, that now we can finally appeal to the West. Lightning Returns final boss is ruined by the localization? I know that they got rid of some stuff about, like, yeah, actually, the final boss, the Bonavelze, their motivation is entirely changed in English, because in the Japanese version, their thing is like they want to learn what it means to be human and like become a better god, and they become like obsessed with lightning or something like that. And in English, it's just like they want to destroy humanity. They want to destroy the world. It's not ideal. Man, what's going on, Zelda? You're really not doing great. Is she praying or what? I'm actually way closer to the finale than I think. I want to try something actually. I'm curious. No? I was gonna think maybe lightning's weak to lightning, but no, it's not. So I have no idea how to deal with electric enemies. Man, I can't believe how much damage heavy attacks do with this weapon. It's insane. Oh, she was resting. They punch up the dialogue in Blaze Blue, but they don't compromise the meaning. That's good. That's generally what you want to have happen with a localization. And the thing is that people don't appreciate that you do have to punch up the dialogue sometimes. There is some very, very dry dialogue in like anime and stuff that should not be preserved. Like, some people fixate so much on functionality with writing, and you still need to actually, like, there's so much technique to writing beyond just getting the point across. And the escort missions aren't great because they just refuse to actually like have the AI just they'll focus on one enemy and start whittling away their health. It's not ideal. Blaze Blue is Guilty Gear with meat. I don't know if you mean what sense you mean that in. You're too corrupted, Onyx. I never know what to expect with you. It could be anything. assuming you have to blow this up, but who knows? Nope, it just goes right through. Okay. It's boneless blaze blue? Maybe. I can't tell the difference between Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, honestly. They seem like very similar franchises, but I'm not just on the outside looking in, I'm on a very distant outside looking in. I can see the vague outlines of the franchises. No, the road is blocked. Uh-oh. How will I deal with this predicament? Great. Can I press Y? Thank you. Water gun? Yay! Finally, the sequel to Mario Sunshine we've been waiting for. Good job, Princess. You told Link to press Y near an object. Good. Now what's happening? Oh, okay. I thought something would actually happen, like maybe Prophecy Guy would show up. But this is fine, I guess. Here we go. I do think it's really interesting how the enemies actually have just persistent weak spots that if you can find a way to hit them, you can hit them. Like, it's not just like, this is the designated point where we expect you to hit the eyeball. So the eyeball is now a weak spot. The eyeball is always a weak spot. So if you can find a way to take advantage of that, then you're set. I have heard that Blaze Blue is just Kingdom Hearts, but I'm pretty sure I've also heard that Guilty Gear is just Kingdom Hearts. So I think that a lot of franchises are just Kingdom Hearts, but somewhat more cowardly. That's my takeaway from this.
Everyone all right? Oh, thank goodness.
We're all right because of you, Princess. Your keen senses saved us.
Well, really, it was thanks to your strength.
Now you listen to me.
Okay.
This is really not the most impressive thing Zelda has done in this game so far. Saying, hey, there's a thing that you can activate and it'll shoot the thing. That's already been done like 3 or 4 times in this story.
All of us just now. All of your effort, your research is not in vain, Princess.
Spoilers, it was all in vain. Blaze Blue is more insane than Kingdom Hearts? I mean, being insane isn't the same as being like Kingdom Hearts, honestly. People exaggerate how insane Kingdom Hearts is. The insanity of Kingdom Hearts is like the interconnectedness of it all. How like a rhythm game can have a square emoji, and that's the most important thing in the entire universe.
That's really...
What was an odd delivery? What was an odd delivery, Twindle? Unfortunately, there's a 30-second delay, so I have no idea what you're talking about. God, I gotta deal with this at some point. Alright, this is the weapon I got from de-rusting a thing, actually. Note the high level of attack power. Oh yeah, can't sell a Master Sword, unfortunately. Some of him. Oh, jeez, my throat. I think I might have to call this short pretty soon. Yeah, I'm honestly, that's Breath of the Wild's entire voice direction problem. It feels like it barely was directed at all. The voice actors just kind of sound like they're doing whatever. Like, I wonder if Nintendo is just not used to the concept of having to direct voice acting. Like, overall, it seemed like this game has better voice directing than Breath of the Wild did, because that was just bizarre how it handled things. But, yeah, it's still like, oh neat, they're adding more Divine Beast missions. Yeah, like, it's never been Nintendo's strongest suit. All the stuff that people really like know as good voice acting from Zelda or from Nintendo are from third parties. It's stuff like Fire Emblem, Shadows of Valentia. People like to point out how it has great voice acting, and that's definitely down to intelligent. Yeah, man. Okay, yeah. This, I think I'm gonna have to call it a day pretty soon. This is not working out. Ugh. Yeah, intelligent systems is definitely the reason why there's good or bad voice direction, I think. Because Nintendo's stuff, it ranges from passable to weird. I don't think it's ever really outright bad, but it's definitely not the strongest. Ooh, you can power up the Divine Beast. Neat. That'll be something I do at some point. But I am calling it. This is falling apart fast. See you guys later.